Have you ever felt like someone in your life isn't quite what they seem? They smile, they charm, they say all the right things, but something deep down tells you that their intentions might not be as pure as they appear. You find yourself questioning your own thoughts, wondering if you're overanalyzing or if there's really something sinister beneath the surface. The truth is, some people are masters of deception, weaving intricate webs to manipulate those around them without ever revealing their true motives. Recognizing these individuals is not just about self-preservation. It's about protecting your peace, your values, and your faith. Manipulative people operate in the shadows, carefully constructing an illusion of kindness and sincerity. They excel at identifying vulnerabilities and using them to their advantage. Often their words are sugar-coated with empathy and understanding, but their actions tell a different story. They seek control, exploiting trust and emotional connections to further their own interests. What makes them particularly dangerous is their ability to make you question your own perception of reality. They twist events, reinterpret conversations, and subtly plant doubts in your mind, leaving you feeling confused and dependent on their version of the truth. In the teachings of Islam, manipulation is strongly condemned because it contradicts the core values of honesty and integrity. Faith encourages transparency, sincerity, and fairness in all interactions. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, emphasized the importance of truthfulness and warned against deceitful behavior that harms others. Yet despite these teachings, manipulators thrive by taking advantage of people's kindness and trust, disguising their harmful intentions under the veil of friendship or mentorship. The tactics of manipulation can take many forms, from guilt-tripping to subtle intimidation. Some manipulators will make you feel as if you owe them something, while others will use passive-aggressive behavior to make you feel inadequate or unworthy. They are skilled at creating situations where you feel compelled to meet their demands, fearing that refusal might result in conflict or rejection. Over time, their influence can erode your self-esteem and inner peace, leaving you emotionally exhausted and spiritually drained. To safeguard yourself from such individuals, it is crucial to cultivate self-awareness and inner strength. Recognizing the signs of manipulation allows you to set firm boundaries and reclaim control over your own decisions. In Islam, self-respect and dignity are essential, and no one should have the power to undermine your sense of worth. Staying true to your values and surrounding yourself with sincere, supportive people is the best defense against those who seek to manipulate you for their own gain. In the end, it's not just about avoiding harm. It's about living authentically and aligning your actions with your beliefs. When you recognize manipulation for what it is, you take a step towards empowerment, ensuring that your relationships are built on trust, sincerity, and mutual respect. Stay vigilant, trust your instincts, and never let anyone dictate your worth or your path. Deception is an art mastered by those who seek to control others without their knowledge. It thrives in environments where appearance outweighs authenticity, where truth is easily overshadowed by carefully crafted lies. These individuals, often charming and persuasive, use deception as a tool to achieve their goals while ensuring their true intentions remain hidden. They are skilled in presenting themselves as trustworthy, weaving narratives that are difficult to question. But beneath the surface, their dishonesty corrodes relationships, trust, and even the foundation of communities. In Islam, truthfulness is regarded as a pillar of moral integrity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, consistently emphasized the importance of honesty in both speech and action, warning against the destructive nature of falsehood. Deception, on the other hand, is condemned because it breeds distrust and breaks the bonds that hold individuals together. A single lie can spiral into a cycle of manipulation and harm, distorting reality and causing emotional and psychological damage to those who fall victim to it. What makes deception so insidious is its ability to disguise itself as something harmless or even beneficial. Those who deceive often rationalize their actions, convincing themselves and others that their dishonesty serves a greater purpose. They distort facts, withhold crucial information, and misrepresent situations to maintain control over how others perceive them. This manipulation can take many forms: exaggeration, omission, or outright fabrication, and it can leave victims feeling confused and betrayed once the truth is revealed. One of the greatest dangers of deception is its ability to undermine self-confidence and perception. When someone is constantly exposed to lies and manipulation, they begin to doubt their own judgment, becoming reliant on the deceiver for guidance and validation. This psychological entrapment makes it increasingly difficult to break free from the web of deceit as the victim starts to question their own reality. Over time, deception erodes self-trust, leaving individuals vulnerable to further exploitation. Islam teaches that embracing truth not only protects the individual, but also strengthens society as a whole. A community built on honesty fosters mutual respect, while one tainted by deceit breeds suspicion and division. Recognizing the signs of deception and holding firm to the values of honesty and transparency are essential to safeguarding personal well-being and maintaining the integrity of relationships. When truth is prioritized, it acts as a shield against manipulation, empowering individuals to make informed decisions and build meaningful connections. To protect oneself from deceitful individuals, it is important to cultivate a discerning mindset. This means questioning inconsistencies, seeking clarity when things seem unclear, and trusting actions over words. In Islam, truth is not just a moral guideline. It is a means of attaining spiritual growth and closeness to Allah. By committing to honesty and rejecting falsehood, individuals can align themselves with a higher purpose and lead lives that reflect sincerity and righteousness. In the end, deception may offer temporary advantages, but it inevitably leads to destruction of trust, relationships, and inner peace. The truth, though sometimes difficult to face, provides a foundation for a fulfilling and authentic life. Recognizing deception for what it is and actively seeking the truth allows us to break free from its grip and walk a path of sincerity and integrity. Empathy is the invisible thread that connects humanity, allowing individuals to understand and share the emotions of others. It fosters compassion, strengthens relationships, and creates a sense of unity within communities. But what happens when empathy is absent? When someone lacks the ability or the willingness to recognize the feelings and struggles of others, the consequences can be devastating. A person without empathy can cause significant harm, often without remorse or consideration for the pain they inflict. The absence of empathy manifests in subtle but destructive ways. Those who lack it may dismiss the emotions of others, minimize their struggles, or even exploit their vulnerabilities for personal gain. They view relationships as transactions, measuring their worth based on how much they can extract rather than what they can contribute. Instead of offering support and understanding, they respond with indifference, criticism, or manipulation, leaving others feeling unheard and invalidated. In Islamic teachings, empathy is not just encouraged, it is considered a moral and spiritual obligation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, demonstrated profound empathy in his interactions with people from all walks of life. He urged his followers to care for one another, to feel the pain of their brothers and sisters, and to extend kindness even to those who wronged them. A lack of empathy, therefore, goes against the core values of compassion and unity that Islam promotes. Without empathy, relationships become hollow and transactional. Friendships turn into arenas of competition. Marriages lack emotional intimacy, and communities suffer from fragmentation and mistrust. People who lack empathy often fail to recognize the emotional damage they cause, rationalizing their behavior as pragmatic or justified. They may say the right words, but lack the sincerity to back them up with genuine concern. Over time, their actions create an emotional void, driving a wedge between themselves and those around them. What makes the absence of empathy particularly dangerous is its potential to escalate into cruelty. When someone lacks the ability to feel the pain of others, they become capable of acts that most would find unthinkable. They might manipulate, deceive, or even harm others without a second thought, as they see people as mere stepping stones to their own goals. This emotional detachment allows them to justify their actions, no matter how damaging they may be. Recognizing individuals who lack empathy is essential for self-preservation. There are clear signs to watch for: consistent disregard for the feelings of others, an inability to apologize sincerely, and a pattern of behavior that prioritizes self-interest above all else. In Islam, believers are encouraged to surround themselves with those who uplift and support them, rather than those who drain their emotional and spiritual energy. Identifying and distancing oneself from those devoid of empathy is not only an act of self-care, but a step towards maintaining a life filled with meaningful and sincere connections. However, it's equally important to cultivate empathy within ourselves. Developing the ability to truly understand and share the emotions of others requires patience, humility, and a willingness to step outside of our own experiences. Islam encourages believers to engage in acts of kindness, to listen actively, and to offer support without expecting anything in return. By fostering empathy, we contribute to a world that values compassion and unity over self-centeredness and division. In the end, empathy is the foundation of meaningful human connection. Without it, relationships crumble, trust fades, and communities weaken. But when empathy is nurtured, it creates an environment of mutual respect, understanding, and love. Protecting oneself from those who lack it while striving to embody it in our own lives is the key to building relationships that reflect the values of sincerity and compassion that Islam so beautifully upholds. Actions speak louder than words, and when someone repeatedly engages in harmful behavior, it becomes impossible to ignore. People who consistently cause harm, whether emotionally, psychologically, or even physically, reveal a deep-seated pattern of malice that goes beyond mere mistakes or misunderstandings. These individuals operate with an agenda, seeking to manipulate, control, or exploit those around them. They may disguise their intentions behind a facade of kindness or generosity, but their actions, repeated over time, expose their true nature. In many cases, harmful individuals do not recognize or acknowledge the damage they inflict. Instead, they rationalize their behavior, blaming circumstances or even their victims. They create cycles of toxicity, drawing others into their web of destruction and making it difficult for those affected to break free. The more they repeat these actions, the more emboldened they become, leaving behind a trail of broken trust and emotional wounds. This is why Islam emphasizes the importance of accountability, holding oneself and others responsible for their actions to prevent harm from spreading. Islam teaches that every action stems from intention, and those who repeatedly engage in harmful behavior do so with an underlying motive. Whether driven by selfish desires, unresolved inner conflicts, or a thirst for power, their persistence in negativity reflects a spiritual void that disconnects them from the values of compassion and integrity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, consistently warned against causing harm to others, emphasizing that true strength lies in kindness and self-restraint. When someone disregards these principles, it becomes clear that their path diverges from righteousness. Identifying harmful individuals requires keen observation and a willingness to trust one's instincts. They may initially appear charming, helpful, or even selfless, but over time, patterns of manipulation, deceit, and disregard for others' well-being become evident. They exploit trust, play the victim when confronted, and create an environment of fear and uncertainty. Recognizing these patterns early on is crucial to protecting one's emotional and spiritual well-being. The impact of harmful actions extends far beyond the immediate victim. They create ripples that affect families, friendships, and entire communities. People who habitually harm others contribute to a culture of negativity, breeding distrust and resentment in those around them. In contrast, Islam encourages an environment where kindness and mutual support flourish, where harmful behavior is confronted with wisdom and justice, ensuring that those who spread harm do not go unchecked. Setting boundaries with such individuals is an essential step in preserving personal peace and dignity. Islam advocates for standing up against injustice while maintaining composure and integrity. Avoiding those who continuously harm others does not mean harboring hatred, but rather safeguarding oneself from unnecessary pain and disruption. Choosing to distance oneself from toxicity allows space for personal growth, inner peace, and healthier connections. It's important to remember that people can change, but true transformation requires sincere effort, accountability, and a commitment to making amends. Those who refuse to acknowledge their wrongdoing and continue their harmful ways should not be granted unlimited chances at the expense of one's well-being. Forgiveness is encouraged in Islam, but it does not imply accepting continuous harm or exposing oneself to repeated betrayal. Ultimately, actions are the truest reflection of character. When someone consistently engages in harmful behavior, it becomes clear where their priorities lie. Recognizing these signs and choosing to prioritize self-respect and emotional well-being is not only an act of self-care, but a demonstration of strength and wisdom. Islam teaches that surrounding oneself with righteous company is essential for maintaining spiritual and emotional health, and distancing from those who bring harm aligns with this principle. Some people find joy not in their own success, but in the failure and suffering of others. This toxic trait reveals a level of malice that goes beyond mere indifference. It signifies a deep-rooted pleasure in the pain of those around them. Whether it's subtle smirks at someone's misfortune or outright gloating over their struggles, these individuals thrive in an environment where negativity reigns. They mask their cruelty behind sarcasm, fake concern, or even humor, making it difficult to call out their behavior without appearing overly sensitive. In Islam, such behavior is strongly condemned because it stands in direct opposition to the principles of mercy and compassion that are central to the faith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that a true believer desires for others what they desire for themselves. To take pleasure in someone else's suffering is not only morally wrong, but spiritually corrosive. It breeds arrogance, jealousy, and an unhealthy fixation on the misfortunes of others, diverting focus from self-improvement and genuine connection with others. People who enjoy seeing others suffer often justify their actions through envy or a false sense of superiority. They convince themselves that those who experience hardship somehow deserve it, feeding into their own insecurities and unresolved frustrations. They may gossip, spread rumors, or intentionally create situations that lead to conflict, all while feigning innocence. This behavior not only harms their victims, but also corrupts their own character, creating a cycle of negativity that can be difficult to break. One of the most dangerous aspects of such individuals is their ability to manipulate social dynamics to their advantage. They might act as though they care about others, while subtly undermining them behind the scenes. Their words of encouragement may carry hidden insults, and their advice may be laced with subtle jabs designed to weaken confidence. Over time, those who are subjected to this toxic behavior begin to doubt themselves, questioning their worth and capabilities. The teachings of Islam emphasize the importance of cultivating sincere goodwill and empathy for others. Believers are encouraged to celebrate the success of their peers and offer support during their hardships. By practicing genuine kindness, individuals can protect themselves from falling into the trap of schadenfreude, the malicious delight in another's pain. Surrounding oneself with people who uplift and encourage is key to maintaining a positive, faith-centered mindset. Dealing with those who enjoy the suffering of others requires both wisdom and strength. It's important to set firm boundaries and refuse to engage in their toxic games. Responding with grace and maintaining one's values despite their negativity is the most effective way to counter their influence. Islam encourages patience and resilience in the face of adversity, reminding believers that their worth is not determined by the opinions or actions of others. In the end, those who derive satisfaction from the pain of others are only harming themselves in the long run. Their actions distance them from true happiness and inner peace, leaving them trapped in a cycle of bitterness and resentment. Recognizing these individuals and choosing to walk a path of compassion and integrity is the ultimate form of self-preservation and spiritual growth. Conflict is an inevitable part of life, but there are those who do not simply encounter it, they create it. These individuals thrive on discord, sowing seeds of division and mistrust wherever they go. They manipulate conversations, distort facts, and fuel misunderstandings, all with the intent of turning people against one another. Whether it's within families, friendships, or communities, their presence is like a slow-acting poison, gradually corroding the unity and harmony that once existed. What makes these individuals particularly dangerous is their ability to disguise their divisive behavior under the guise of concern or righteousness. They may present themselves as mediators or problem solvers while secretly feeding the flames of conflict behind the scenes. They exploit emotions, using people's insecurities and doubts to push their own agendas. In Islam, unity and solidarity are highly valued, and those who actively work to divide others go against the very fabric of what it means to be part of a community. The Quran repeatedly warns against those who sow discord, urging believers to seek reconciliation and mutual understanding. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, emphasized the importance of maintaining good relations and resolving disputes with patience and wisdom. Those who instigate division, however, thrive on chaos. They feel empowered when others are in conflict, seeing themselves as the unseen force that controls outcomes to their benefit. People who spread discord often use subtle tactics, spreading rumors, twisting words, or planting doubts that slowly erode trust. They create environments where suspicion flourishes, making it difficult for others to form genuine connections. Over time, their influence can turn even the closest of relationships into battlegrounds of resentment and hostility. The damage they cause is not always immediate, but it is profound, leaving lasting scars on individuals and communities alike. Recognizing such individuals requires vigilance and a strong commitment to truth and fairness. It is essential to avoid being drawn into their manipulative schemes and instead strive to be a force for peace and unity. Islam teaches believers to verify information before acting on it, to give people the benefit of the doubt, and to always seek resolution through kindness and sincerity. By doing so, one can resist the negative influence of those who seek to divide and instead contribute to an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding. Setting clear boundaries with divisive individuals is crucial in maintaining personal and collective well-being. It is important to confront their behavior with wisdom, without becoming entangled in their web of deceit. In some cases, the best approach is simply to distance oneself, choosing to invest energy in relationships that foster trust and support rather than suspicion and conflict. Islam encourages believers to engage in meaningful dialogue and reconciliation, ensuring that disagreements do not escalate into long-lasting divisions. At the core of Islamic teachings lies the principle of unity, standing together in faith, compassion, and justice. Those who aim to break this unity must be approached with caution and wisdom. While it is essential to be aware of their tactics, it is equally important to embody the values of patience, forgiveness, and understanding. In doing so, one can counteract their negative influence and strengthen the bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood that Islam so deeply cherishes. As we navigate the complexities of relationships and interactions, it is vital to stay true to our values and principles. Surrounding ourselves with those who encourage growth, sincerity, and mutual respect can shield us from the harmful influence of divisive individuals. Let us commit to fostering environments rooted in trust and compassion, ensuring that our actions reflect the core teachings of our faith. If you found these insights valuable, share them with those you care about. By spreading awareness and wisdom, we can collectively work towards creating a world built on sincerity, unity, and mutual support.